In terms of what the federal government needs to do, I know you touched on it a little bit at yesterday's press conference. Are you happy with with the president's executive action that happened over the weekend? Is that enough? Do you want to see more? What do you think really needs to happen from a federal level in order to really help us get on the road to recovery and rebound and really start to move forward and not suffer the long-term ramifications that we could potentially face if things linger?
Well, the federal government has to take action. Otherwise, what could be a short recession that we are in right now with short-term unemployment could turn into a longer, painful recession or possibly even depression. Now, we know what it takes to avoid that, but the federal government's got to step up and do it. A couple things that we know are necessary is one, state stabilization and local state and local government stabilization. Our budgets have been wrecked by COVID-19, but back in the Great Recession, which we lived through, stabilization dollars were provided. It meant we could continue to fund education, healthcare, and important programs at the level we should. And it's proven that that type of funding will shorten a recession and make sure that we can bounce out of this. Second, our people who are on unemployment need that continued extra dollars. I believe it should continue at that $600 level. I can tell you, looking at all of the data about our economy, it's working. It's working to help people meet their basic needs. It's also promoting the type of consumer spending that we need in our economy. People aren't holding it, they're spending it. And that is a positive in keeping our economy going and helping us to bounce back. But what we've got in D.C. is fights over red states and blue states. Well, you know what? We're all states just dealing with COVID. We've got attempts at horse trading and getting things that have nothing to do with COVID in there. Can't we rise above the politics and being Democrats and Republicans in the midst of an international health pandemic? I hope we can. And so I think when the president took action the other day, he was trying to get something done. And I don't want to criticize that. The way it's done, the way it's structured right now is unworkable for just about any state. Now, there'll be some states that'll say we can do it because they want to be supportive. And I don't want to criticize the attempt. It's just the amount of money the state has to put in, the lack of guidance, the changes we'd have to make in our system just won't work. So my hope is that it spurs additional action. And if it does, and it gets Congress back together, then it'll have been at least a step that helped push things forward.